Elizabeth Warren, The Two-Income Trap, Why Middle-Class Parents Are Still Going Broke. Dive into the captivating summary of The Two-Income Trap, Why Middle-Class Parents Are Still Going Broke, by Elizabeth Warren, which explores the hidden danger that lurks in the American middle class, bankruptcy. This eye-opening analysis uncovers that contrary to popular belief, financial distress is not limited to the impoverished or financially irresponsible. Discover how the rise of the two-income family has led to more significant financial vulnerabilities, and how the combination of divorce, medical bills, education, and housing expenses have pushed many families to the brink. Learn about the economics of consumer credit and the need for substantial policy changes to alleviate these issues, and help middle-class families maintain stability and avoid financial ruin.
The hidden financial danger. Bankruptcy is a growing concern for America's middle class, with more people filing for it than getting divorced. Although the effects of divorce on children are widely studied, the impacts of financial distress on children are as serious. Financial troubles are not just limited to the poor, as millions of college-educated, hard-working, middle-class homeowners are closer than ever to financial collapse. Unfortunately, the rise of the two-income family accomplished neither goal, with families earning more money but having less disposable income due to fixed expenses. As a result, these families are highly vulnerable to a sudden loss of income caused by a layoff, long illness, or divorce. The problem is widely ignored, and families should not be blamed for issues caused by corporations and government. It is hard to grasp the breadth or depth of financial distress, which is sweeping through ordinary suburbs, small towns, and nice city neighborhoods. The struggle of middle-class mothers. The book highlights the financial struggles faced by middle-class mothers in America. In a two-income family, both parents are necessary to meet basic expenses like housing, childcare, and education. The loss of even one salary can derail the family's finances. Single mothers face even more significant challenges, with 1 in 6 filing for bankruptcy by the end of the decade. The idea of a stay-at-home mother as a solution is not feasible, and neither are heavy-handed solutions like government-regulated price caps on housing. The book busts 2 myths, including the belief that Americans spend frivolously, leading to financial ruin. It makes a case for systemic changes to relieve the burden on middle-class families, asking critics to do the math. The true culprit of American family debt. American families' level of debt and credit problems are often blamed on unnecessary spending. However, the real culprit is the rise in housing costs, particularly in good school districts. The obsession with ensuring children receive a quality education has driven many families to financial ruin, as they compete in a bidding war for homes in these districts. Furthermore, the cost of education does not stop at housing, as parents must also pay for preschool and college. In contrast to popular belief, families today spend 21% less on clothing, 22% less on food, and 44% less on major appliances than in the 1970s, with only a small percentage owning vacation homes. While some expenses like computers and home entertainment have increased, families have saved enough in other categories to balance it out. Although cars now cost more than 20 years ago, they last longer and are safer. The book exposes the myth of frivolous spending and highlights the root cause of American families' debt and credit problems. The truth about bankruptcy. Bankruptcies are not just for people who have done something wrong. Hardworking families can follow the rules, make the right financial decisions, and still be wiped out by medical bills, job loss, or divorce. These 3 reasons account for 87% of bankruptcy filings by families with kids. While more bankruptcies happen today, it is not because families take the easy way out. Filing for bankruptcy is still seen as a desperate last resort. Bankruptcy eliminates some debts but not all. It liquidates assets and forces public disclosure of financial information, which can remain on credit reports for 10 years. This myth that blames innocent families discourages change and perpetuates complacency. The government and the public need to address the root causes of bankruptcy, such as unaffordable healthcare and education, instead of shaming those who are struggling financially. The unintended consequences of deregulation and consumer credit. The book delves into the consequences of the mass entry of women into the workforce in the 1970s, which led to the increase in the cost of a middle-class lifestyle and the rise of divorce. The lack of job security and corporations' increasing use of downsizing contributed to the problem of unexpected medical bills and subsequently bankruptcy filings related to medical expenses. The book highlights the role of the deregulation of interest rates, which allowed lenders to offer high interest rates based on their corporate location, leading to the credit culture. The availability of credit led to unsustainable debt, especially for two-income families that committed high percentages of their incomes to mortgage payments, increasing the chances of foreclosure if either parent had trouble. The rise of subprime borrowers led to immoral tactics by lenders, targeting minority neighborhoods for high mortgage rates and illegal practices. The author calls for regulation of the lending industry and better financial education to prevent financial distress. Simple policies to lessen financial distress. Families can be protected from financial distress by implementing simple policies. One of the first steps is raising awareness of the problem, as many middle-class Americans are unaware of the extent of the problem due to bankruptcy being a shame that is hidden. Lenders deliberately target minority neighborhoods, which makes it essential for the adoption of solutions that require collective action. Some of the solutions include expanding free public education to preschool, freezing state university tuition raises, and giving kids vouchers to attend any public school. The government should also provide tax incentives for all savings and make disability insurance mandatory and universal. Interest rates should be capped, and families should prioritize what they can pay for and make a strategic plan to outlast their financial crisis.
In conclusion, Elizabeth Warren's The Two-Income Trap reveals the harsh truth about the instability faced by middle-class families in America. Rather than blaming them for their financial troubles, the book explores the effects of policy changes, deregulation of interest rates, and educational expenses driving families into bankruptcy. The summary shows that middle-class families with two incomes are often more financially vulnerable due to the absence of a safety net, and the growing costs of housing, education, and healthcare. By calling for collective action and policy changes such as expanding free education, freezing university tuition fees, and implementing vouchers for public schools, we can protect the financial stability of our families and build a more resilient middle class.